Hey guys, I'm Julie, and I'm going to be sharing my testimony today of how God is more. I will explain my background shortly. So, this is the way most of us would like our lives to go. We start at point A, a nice, smooth, straight line, and we get to point B. But as was the case with me when I was still living in Buffalo, my life looked a little bit more like those TikTok videos that you see, where it's lots of zigzags to get to your final destination. Um, but during that time of uncertainty and craziness is when God really showed up in my life in powerful ways to help me to see that He is more. So let me explain from the beginning. So I started out in Buffalo, where I grew up, having a dream of moving and living in Italy, which I still think is going to happen one day. But I have family in Italy. I visited there and I just got a taste for it, and I thought I would love to live here. And the way to do that, logically, one of the ways to do that is to be an English teacher. So here's where my next illustration comes in. All right. My point A was teaching online so that I could transfer that and live in another country and teach them English. So that is the backdrop that you see. I do teach English online, and whether that's in North Carolina and Buffalo, and I could have done so in Italy. But somewhere along the line, God closed the door, and I kind of came across a hurdle. Getting a visa to be able to legally stay in Italy for a long period of time was not going to be possible. So I'm in the midst of everything, not sure what God is doing, but still looking at Him and trusting Him, knowing that He's more, even amidst all these uncertainties. Came across another snag in the road because I sort of thought that teaching people English online would be my only job and it would be enough and I'd make enough money to support myself. But it wasn't. Sometimes you learn as you go, trial and error. So I actually needed to find another job, just any job, to have enough money to kind of start over and plan something else and figure stuff out. So I ended up actually getting a job at a bakery in Wegmans. If you guys have gone to Wegmans, you know it's amazing. But yes, so I got rehired at this Wegmans bakery because that was actually my first job. And they actually, pretty much right after I got rehired, said, "Oh, we're opening a store in Raleigh." So I thought, why not just transfer down to Raleigh? I mean, I could work at their Wegmans, could still teach online. It would help me to get out of where I was currently living in Buffalo, which is very terrible winters, so I did not want to live there forever. I still know where the final destination was, but Raleigh sounded like a good stepping stone. Um, so, as you can tell, I moved down to Raleigh. I'm very thankful that I did. I do have a cousin that lives here, so I knew I would have some family. And I had actually visited Southbridge Fellowship even before I moved down here, since that's her church. So I visited with her. So glad I moved down here so I could be a part of this awesome community. And actually, during my time working at the Wegmans in Raleigh, I got hired as a full-time classroom teacher, which I had previously been before this whole online teaching thing. So, woohoo, got a new job. And then COVID-19 happens, and what do you know? But only God could work this way. So my point A was online teaching, and I thought it was going to lead me to Italy. But God led me from online teaching to online teaching. And I don't say that with any regret or anything like that. I'm pretty much just blown away because only the Lord could have known exactly where He was leading me, that I needed this training as an online teacher so that when the impossible happened or the unprecedented happened, I would be extra prepared. And in fact, a lot of parents and other teachers said, "Wow, you already came at this having all these skills already." So that's just a big blessing. But moral of the story, God showed me that He is more when I was in the middle of everything, not knowing where He was going to take me, just because I know he's more than my plans and he's bigger than my fears. And he loves me and I can trust him. And then just looking back and seeing his faithfulness, I can just see that I guess he's really more than I could have ever imagined because he's bigger than I can kind of wrap my head around.